Welcome to Strictlytalk
Where strictly talk about Strictly.
with Poppy and Jordan.
And today's episode 9. Can I count? And we're
Nine.
diving into the newbies, much like they dove in on their opening dance. I did that by
Oh,
accident, but we're going to be talking about
whoa.
Julien and Alexis and their first season, how they got to Strictly, how they've been on Strictly. Just diving in.
Diving right in. And also, before we dive in, any feedback on like the audio quality would be amazing. We've been playing about with things. So this is what we think is the perfect setup that we can afford. But let us know. There's that. But yeah, we're talking about Alexis and Julian mostly. But we'll start with this or that. And
Doof,
I
doof, doof.
kind of have first of all just like a silly one,
Let's do a silly
which
one.
is I've got to say a silly one, which is for vibes and vibes alone. Would you
Mhm.
rather have, and this is just like an arbitrary person, but they bring this energy, the
Okay.
vibes of Alexis or the costumes of Julian as a Strictly Pro partner?
Whoa. That's really something to think about.
Yeah. And I have one Julian costume in mind, really, but
Is it the jive?
it may well be.
Maybe I'd get distracted, is my concern. If I'm
Yeah.
talking about my learning experience, it could be quite a distract, but also it could help with votes. It depends which
hmm
route I'm going down. Am
hmm
I trying to succeed in my dance, experience and like, well, not me, but like if it's whoever's, do they need to, learn
Yeah.
or get votes? Because if you're going for learn, but I suppose people could be better than I am and not get distracted.
No, you're only
It's like I
human.
have ADHD. I have ADHD. It's but like, I mean, I really enjoyed Julian's costuming
Yeah.
from an audience standpoint.
hmm
I think because he loves a story and he loves a theme, like
Yeah, he
lifeguard
commits to the
jive,
part.
fun. The
hmm
mermaid Halloween one, underrated. Just
hmm
saying.
Yeah.
But like the vibe of Alexis, I think we love Alexis. She's so fun. She's so bubbly. She also is a great partner, you know?
Yes.
Like, she's
Yes.
very, not that Julian isn't, but like, you know what I mean? But if we're going Alexis vibes versus Julian's costumes,
Mm.
I feel like if I'm an audience member, which I am, it's probably more beneficial to the audience to have good costumes than because like if you're
Yeah.
spending one-on-one
Okay.
time with the person. It's
Okay.
so if you're a celebrity, it's better to have the vibes of
No, no,
Alexis
no.
as your
I
partner.
like
But
I like
for
the
the
way you
production of
spell.
the television program,
Sure.
do you
Yeah,
know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
Weave in that as the justification as to Julian shorts for
Yeah,
like a
basically,
production thing. It's all about
I just
production.
like it when they wear shorts. So I think
Yeah,
production
fair.
wise, it's budget friendly because you need less
It's
less material.
less, less material. Honestly, those are £5 off Amazon, those shorts.
Exactly.
You know?
So
In fact, dare I say Julian probably already owned them.
probably.
He brought them from home. Okay, well that's my joking this or that. So let us know in the comments, would you rather Alexis vibes or Julian costumes? Both are
Mhm.
immaculate. I know it's a hard
Both are
choice.
correct.
And on both are correct. And in the same vein, we're doing a more actual strictly this or that. Would you rather do a Latin dance with Alexis or do a ballroom dance with Julian? You choose your favorite Latin, you choose your favorite ballroom.
Oh, that's so hard.
Yeah, now I'm making you think.
Now I'm really thinking because immediately I start thinking what dances they did, of
hmm
course. And
hmm
what comes to mind with Alexis is more of the ballroom dances because Quick Step and Viennese Waltz from George and Alexis I absolutely loved, but I'm
Yeah,
not doing them, I'm doing a Latin.
yeah.
But like the samba was so fun. Imagine getting to
hmm
do like a fun, quirky samba, but with competition level technique. But then you Shirley Ballas is here. But then you think about Julian and like the
hmm
ballrooms him and Bal did were very story driven. And I as a
hmm
viewer really enjoy that. Like that Viennese Waltz in Musicals Week, I mean,
Yeah. I mean
gorgeous. Can
that
I do
it
that one?
was in my head, it was the Blackpool samba, salsa samba, and the Never Enough
Mm,
Bal Julian dance. Those were my two that made me go
mm,
this way around. But I mean, there's the beautiful Viennese waltz from Alexis as well. I
yeah.
respect that. So what's your
It's
verdict?
really hard. But then also, if you do a Latin dance with Alexis, you could do the paso,
Oh,
and that would be. Oh no, this is really difficult.
tune in next week when
When I'm
Poppy
still
makes her
thinking,
decision.
I feel like now I've considered the paso. If I could do the
Yeah,
paso with Alexis, I think that would be my answer.
yeah, I think that's fair.
But I
I
don't
think that's
know.
a I don't know, tough choices, both tough choices. I think for the first this or that, I'm going with Julian shorts. I mean costume, sorry. And for the second this or that, I think I'm agreeing as well. Alexis, Paso Doble, come on.
Like, I want to do that,
Yeah. Next episode
but
we'll
also,
recreate that Paso Doble.
yeah.
Stay tuned.
But also, I just don't want to do both. Because, like, imagine being spun around the floor like that in that beautiful ballroom by Julien, or
Hmm.
like the waltz was so cute. Like, I feel like the way he approaches dances is like these stories, and it's
Yeah.
like I want to live in that fairy tale with
He
Julien.
does, he like really sells a story. He
Yeah.
really plays a part when he's performing.
So, oh,
It's tough.
I'm still gonna be it. 3 weeks time, I'm gonna be like, guys, I've decided.
Well, let us know in the comments, people, at least what you've decided.
Yeah, please help, help.
Maybe we need another couple series with them both before we can make
Mhm.
any big decisions like that.
Yeah. So strictly, can you keep them employed?
Keep them employed, give them another partner.
Yeah. And since we're keeping them employed, maybe we talk about how they got employed. Whoa,
Yeah. Oh my
segue.
goodness. That was so seamless. No one even
Thank you.
noticed.
Because I've done a bit of research into
Mm,
Julian and Alexis, because I feel like if we're going to talk about them, we should have a bit of their backstory.
yeah,
And so
that's fair.
Alexis is first on my page, not you, every time. This is the problem with filming in here, is she thinks it's, sorry, I just got a Vinted
She thinks we're talking.
notification that I
One
may have
second.
liked a Julian themed item. Anyway,
What
we'll
is
start
going
with
on?
Alexis.
Yeah,
Alexis. So this is not you. So
a
I've
little bit
reached
Alexis.
out to one of my Alexis girlies. Shout out Eve.
Hmm.
She is an OG.
Shout out, Eve.
And I found out some information about Alexis. So
Yeah.
Alexis started dancing at age 6. She didn't start with
Well,
ballroom and Latin. She
nope.
started with jazz and contemporary, and then moved into the ballroom and Latin world in her teens. And then after leaving
Mhm.
school, she toured with, and I apologize if I butcher this last name, Val and Max Shmerkovsky. They're
Yeah.
those brothers of Dancing with the Stars.
Yes.
One of them's married to Jenna Johnson. This is what I know.
Yes. Yes.
And then she also toured with Derek Hoff. So, like, that's impressive. Can
Yeah.
we
Big
just,
names.
you're out of high school and you're touring with them, amazing dancer. Then we get to 2022, because also Alexis is young. She's my age, and I'm saying that's young.
Alexis is really young.
She's
She's my
really
age. She's
young.
super young.
Yeah, she's young and she's cool, and she's
Super
not
young,
unk.
cool, gorgeous, just like me. You
Yeah,
know.
we're the same.
We're the
Um,
same.
2022, I've been informed, was a big year for Alexis Warr, because she was on the
Yeah.
Dancing with the Stars live tour.
Hmm.
Huge.
Big.
She won the 17th series of So You Think You Can Dance, and
Big.
didn't know this, the first ballroom and Latin dancer to win.
Oh, good for her.
That's insane. Good for you, for
Yeah.
real. And then also, this was the year she was in the troupe on Dancing with the Stars. So she's had a very big year in 2022. 2023, Dancing with the Stars doesn't have a troupe. So where's
Yeah.
Alexis? Like,
Where'd she go?
interesting.
Hmm.
2024, Jojo Siwa's here, don't worry. And Karma's are we allowed to say it? Da, 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 da. We should have
song.
known better. And who stars in that music video?
Me.
Alexis Warr.
Oh,
Nope,
Alexis.
close enough. And Jojo was, of course, a judge on So You Think You Can Dance. This is how they met. This is kind of, she gets into this space. But it's also kind of crazy when it's like, I just like, it took me time to piece this together that they were the same person, that like
Yeah.
Alexis wore Strictly Dancer and Woman in music video with Jojo
Mm.
Siwa
There's
are
so
one
many
person.
things that you can put Alexis's name on already. It is
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, this is the thing. You say this, you're like, look at this CV. It's crazy to be at
Amazing.
that point, like 24 years old and have achieved all these things. And yet she didn't get back on Dancing with the Stars. She didn't go back on the troupe. She didn't become a pro, which is what you would have expected. Because even though they didn't have a troupe in 2023, she was still involved in dances. And then all of a
Hmm.
sudden, she's not. And
And she's out.
understandably, this led to feelings of feeling underappreciated in the industry. And despite the fact that she has this incredible CV,
Hmm.
not getting those opportunities. But then 2025, Strictly.
She gets a
And here,
call.
I think a lot more appreciated, a lot more recognized for her work. And
Hmm.
this is how she got here. Now, I don't know her audition process, so I would have to ask, but
Well, there
that
seems to
is,
be that I read, and this was when it happened. So again, memory and fact check me, please. I don't think she did audition. I think they contacted her.
ah,
I think they reached
which
out to,
makes sense. Whoever
which makes sense.
decided, look at this lady. She's
Hmm.
got all these achievements, and yet
Hmm.
somehow, I'm not saying she was unemployed, but like she wasn't on Dancing with the
Yeah.
Stars that year. Thank God someone went, wait a minute, guys, we're having
Hmm.
her. Because Dancing with the
Let's
no offense
take
to Dancing with the Stars, but like that's really embarrassing.
that's
Like
madness. It's absolutely madness.
you see all this and
I
think, oh, we won't invite her back.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't want to. We're not a Dancing with the Stars podcast, so I don't. Quest, great stuff. Podcast, but I don't want to dwell. So I don't want to dwell on that show.
Hmm.
However, what I will say is, having watched this latest series, the focus on the pro is so much more on Strictly. We get so much time with
Hmm.
the couples. We get so much time with learning who these new people are to us, getting to know these dancers. Whereas on Dancing with the Stars, it's so formulaic, and the
Hmm.
judges give like 1 minute of feedback, and then the couples get 1 minute to say their thing, and it's like done. On to the next couple. Even the VTs are shorter.
Hmm.
So I think that transition as well works really well for her because she's got such a brilliant personality. And I don't think that would
Yeah.
have shone in Dancing with the Stars. But also,
Yeah.
you can Google it yourself again, not Dancing with the Stars podcast, but there is so much drama around the troupe on Dancing with the Stars. There's so much nepotism
Mm.
involved with everyone that's on that show. It's
Hmm.
very intense. So Alexis being removed from the troupe or not invited back or whatever, there's so much lore
Yeah.
upon lore, and so enjoy. If you like a deep dive, go Google it. There's stuff.
Yeah. But it's just like, I feel so glad that she has found Strictly, or Strictly has found her, and she's got this like
Hmm.
fan base now and this appreciation, because you look at the stuff she's achieved at such a young age, and
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
good that she is getting these opportunities, because that's what
Such
she should have been getting. Like, to
such a
win So
young
You Think You Can
age.
Dance. Yeah, she was so young and married, but
Yeah,
crazy. Her husband's a
crazy.
dentist. This is like what I know. I'm like, her husband's a dentist.
Wow.
I
All
know.
right. Okay. Amazing.
Speaking of great
Yeah.
teeth, what about Julian's backstory?
Whoa, another seamless
There's going to
transition.
be, I need to do like a compilation of my segues.
This podcast is mostly just Poppy telling me stories, by the way. So I'm just
Yeah.
here to have a good time.
Well, but it's all about education, it's about learning. So
It's
let's learn
learning.
about
Back at school.
Julian. So Julian started dancing age 10, and he's represented Australia internationally in competitions. So I don't know about Alexis's competition history because that wasn't part of my information that I
Because you're,
learned. But
yeah.
Julian's won many a competition and in Australia, and then represented Australia internationally as well.
Hmm.
And then he also competed on So You Think You Can Dance, but the Australian version. And then he went
Wow.
on to Burn the Floor. So if you don't know, Burn the Floor is like a touring ballroom and Latin dance company that's like the biggest of that in the world. It's very like,
Hmm.
what's the word? Like, thought
Renowned.
well of. There you go.
That's why I'm here.
There we go. So it's very renowned. It's like a big deal. And they do like tour across the world. They've done cruise ships. And a lot of our pros come from Burn the Floor. basically
Yeah.
all of them have been part of Burn
Why
the
does my
Floor.
voice keep cracking? How humbling. We're
Yeah.
supposed to be doing a pod. Yeah.
And oh, my headphones fallen out. Sorry, how
We're really
inappropriate.
good at this. We're really good at this.
And then I think this is the bit where I googled this and this didn't come up, so maybe I imagined it. But
Mm.
from what I remember reading at some point, the way that Julien got on at Burn the Floor is Robbie Kematoni, who is, you'll sometimes see him on Strictly Live Tour. He's always at Blackpool. He's the small man who's best friends with Jeanette. Best way to describe him. And he's like been a part of Burn the Floor, I think, since the beginning, or at least
Wow.
for a long time. And I think he kind of scouted Julien and like spotted him on So You Think You Can Dance, or like worked with him or something, and there was a connection there, and that got Julien on Burn the Floor. But when he was like 18, like he was like a baby joining this group. And there is a picture somewhere of Julien with Diane before her red hair and Lauren with long hair.
Whoa.
And it's like this, he's been a part of it. So even though like he's not someone, we'll get onto a bit of like whether people predicted them, which they didn't, but like he seemingly came from nowhere, but actually he hasn't come from nowhere, because he was part of
No.
Burn the Floor and has
Yeah.
done like different shows and tours with them. He also did 3 seasons of Dancing with the Stars Australia,
Yes.
which is a different budget. Just people say Dancing with the Stars in the US is so much bigger budget than Strictly. Dancing with the Stars Australia, you get like 25p and 10 minutes. Good luck.
Yeah.
Like,
And yeah, it's completely
it's an
different.
it's an interesting one. And then also, interestingly, he is a personal trainer and exercise physiologist.
Great.
Wild. So I
Good
think he's
for
a very
him.
interesting person in the fact that like obviously he is a dancer and he's done all these tours and he's done all this stuff, but he also has this secondary career, secondary interest. And I think, again, memory, not sure, but I swear he said that he like was kind of at a crossroads of whether to go down that fitness route and continue that way or continue dancing, and kind of Strictly came at the perfect time because he could have
Oh.
just stopped dancing. And I'm like, Julien,
Whoa.
imagine.
No. Yeah.
Like, so
And
it's also,
so the oh, you go.
oh, I've dropped my headphone
Continue.
again. Sorry.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I know.
The lore behind Julian getting on Strictly as well, I believe, and again, this is the same article I read when it was announced. So as far as I'm aware, he auditioned for Strictly a few years ago and he didn't
Yeah.
get on. And then he also then this time got the call and went, hey, how about now? Sort of thing. No idea whether they then had to apply an audition. I assume they had to do some level of here's how I would teach, here's what I would do, you know. But he did actually apply before, so that's probably how his name was initially in the mix.
It's just so interesting that like he did apply for before and didn't get it. And it's like
Yeah,
timing's everything, guys. Because like
yeah,
imagine if he'd have got it then, he wouldn't have Bestie Alexis.
exactly. Exactly. It was the perfect time to join for both of them. So,
But it's interesting that when we found out we were getting 2 new pros, first of all, I think most people assumed it was going to be 2 men because of the numbers. So I barely researched the girlies. So I feel like Alexis probably could have been figured out if there was more attention on girls, but it was like a light idea. Whereas the
yeah,
boys, I deep dived, I searched, I really considered. Never would have thought of Julien. I wouldn't have thought we're going to get this bloke who's come off of Dancing with the Stars Australia and got eliminated early every single time. God bless him, not his fault. It was his partner's. It's not his
yeah,
fault. But like, I
not
wouldn't
his
have
fault.
considered him. Like,
No,
there were so many men that I considered who I thought, oh,
I
it'll
think,
probably be him. It'll probably be him. It was Julien.
yeah, I think what was really interesting about the Julian casting is, as we've spoken about last week on the podcast, there are quite a few people quite heavily involved in Strictly currently who aren't pro dancers as part of the show. So sure, they do some group numbers or they help with choreography a lot, and some of them seem to be quite keen to become a professional on the show and aren't. And so there were options there that were right in front of them. So it's interesting that they went with Julian, although I suppose he does have now the evidence of a few seasons of being on a show where he does the exact same thing. So he's like, hey, look, I did it kind of okay. uh, they didn't make it far. I think Julien got eliminated week 3 every series, or didn't get past week 3,
Oh, bless
was
him.
what I read for the Australian one. Might be wrong. Again, this isn't a factual podcast.
It's a vibe.
Sometimes it's a vibe. But yeah, I actually think they were both, Alexis and Julien, cast at the same time, super, super intentionally. I still have my theory that both Alexis and George were being considered for this series. And
Mhm.
when they kind of got the idea that they both would do it, they were like, this is perfect. Because I think they
Mhm.
wanted to move to social media more and make Strictly feel more sort of welcoming to a newer audience. And I think both George and Alexis were a huge part of that. So I actually think this was the plan all along.
I also think it's interesting that Alexis kind of, like, in hand with what you're saying, came in with a following, not necessarily
Yeah.
as big as it is now, but people knew who she was from winning So You Think You Can Dance. Why could I not say that? From So You Think You Can Dance, people knew her from the troupe of Dancing with the Stars. Like, people knew who she was. Whereas,
Yeah.
like, Julien,
Didn't know.
bless him, I just felt like when he was announced, I was like, hello, great signing, never heard of him,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
great
You could
signing.
stay. Don't know who you are, but
Exactly.
would like to.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. Well, now you're making bracelets.
look,
So
exactly. That's true. King Julian. Oh,
King
I love
Julia.
King Julian. I don't like King Julian. I love him.
We're clipping it. Clipping it.
Shout out to Sophia, his fiance. I would never try and encroach on your space because you do Ironmans, and I know you could beat me up. Also, I'm a nice person and I wouldn't break up your relationship, but like,
There you go, folks. Put it in
but
the
like, do you know
comments.
what I mean? I'm like,
I don't
go on,
know.
girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out.
Honestly, great. Good for them.
One
Both of them.
dentist husband, Iron Man fiance.
It's going real
Slay.
well for those two.
Exactly. Also, wait,
Those four.
low key concept. Maybe they hired them because they were like, "You're taken. Thank God we can avoid curse rumors." I
So
don't think
true.
that would be, but also there's probably a conversation that was like, "Oh, Julian's so gorgeous, guys. Don't worry, his fiance does Iron Man's. Like, no,
Yeah.
it's fine. If he does
It's
anything,
fun.
she will run after him and find him. It's fine."
Also, let's just talk about doing Ironmans for a second. That is
No,
the craziest thing.
it's crazy.
Like,
But I support her because she's
amazing.
a woman. If you're a man, I'm like, why are you doing that? It's a waste of
Why are
time. Go
you
home to your
doing that?
family. But she's a woman,
Yeah,
and I think that's incredible, and it
I
shows
think
real strength and courage.
it's just scary. I'm like,
It's
how is your
really
body
long.
capable of that? How is your brain capable of that?
It's a
Mine is
marathon and other things. Like, that's crazy.
absolute madness. Anyway, so there
Speaking
you
of
go.
madness,
Yeah. Speaking of madness,
their first season, George,
yeah.
no, well, yes. I was going to say George and Alexis, but I meant Julian and Alexis. But also, Alexis was with George, so George and Alexis is relevant.
Perfect. Really seamless segue once again.
Really seamless. So yes, they joined, and it was like, "Hey guys, we're doing our swimming pool dance that no one asked for, that Poppy doesn't like,"
Jordan loves.
and like that
Jordan,
being our first interaction with them actually was kind of irrelevant because they didn't do much but splash around, but they looked great doing it, so that's fine.
yeah, they didn't do much. However, they did. So right, I think this is maybe important to talk about as well, just because I like
Oh,
to brag about myself, is, we get new pros, sometimes they get announced. I don't think they've ever been announced on this grand a scale before. As in
I
like
don't think
prior
so.
to the show and then when the show starts, and it's just like
Like
all eyes on
last
these two.
time, well, when it was 2022 and Carlos, Vito, Lauren, and Michelle joined, it was a Instagram reel, but it was still photos of them, and that was it.
It's
Like,
like,
no interview.
oh,
They had a whole
yeah,
press tour for Julian and Alexis. They were like,
I know.
go on. What's it called? BBC Breakfast. Welcome to the UK. We're going to jet
A,
lag you. Get on BBC Breakfast. It's 7 a.m. Go and
a
talk.
little known radio show, BBC Breakfast. Um,
Like, go on.
no, but the thing is, they made such an announcement of it. So I was certain they were both getting partners. Absolutely
Oh,
certain.
yeah.
And there was a lot of people that were like, nah, they won't give the new people partners. But I was like, no, this is part of this new rebrand that they're going for.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but what surprised me in the partners that they got, George and Alexis made complete sense. Julien and Balvinder surprised me because Balvinder was our super fan of the series,
Hmm.
and you would expect she would end up with someone who's been on the show a while. That's the experience you hope for. But
Yeah.
actually, both partnerships made complete sense by the end. So
Yeah.
absolutely here for that. But then, as part of this big announcement, even on the show, as you say, Carlos, Vito, Lauren, Michelle, they got a group dance where they weren't really dancing. There was like a little couple movements that'd be like, "Hi,
Mm.
I'm Vito. I am blah blah blah, and this is
I'm
blah blah blah."
Vito. I am from Italy.
Wow, we found an
That's my Vito
impression
impression.
that's not good. Um, do the Lauren one
How
though. Go on, I'll let you redeem yourself.
I'm Lauren. It's like where how did you feel when you found out you were part of Strictly, Lauren? It was all my dreams come true. I was in my nan's kitchen. That
Nailed
actually
it.
wasn't a good Lauren one today. I don't know what's happened. I'm
I didn't
Lauren
want to say it.
Oakley.
Hey, mm.
No, it's
But
gone.
anyway, the group number was very like, here they are moving on. Whereas this year in the swimming pool, it was this whole thing, and it was like introducing these new pros. Not only did they go introducing these absolutely stunningly beautiful new pros,
Yeah.
because yeah, let's just chuck them in a pool and have them dancing like ooh.
Hmm.
For those listening at home and not watching, I made a movement that seemed in
It
some
was
sort of way
it
really
was
hot.
phenomenal.
Thank you. But yeah, I enjoyed the way it was introduced, and it really set the tone for the series being a bit different, I thought.
Hmm.
Continue.
Yeah. Well, then we start the thing.
Then we start the thing.
They've done their group number. They get partnered with their partners. It's like, first of all, if you hired Alexis, and I think I said this at the time, that if they'd hired Alexis and didn't give her a partner, it would have been silly behavior.
Yeah.
Which, like, I said, I mean, part of me was like, it's a bit of a random choice to hire another lady when we've got multiple ladies, and like, you
Yeah.
should give this one a partner because hello, look at her CV. But then, like, at the same time, you've already got people, you know. But
Yeah.
it was like, George and Alexis, Slay. Julien and Balvinder, Bal and Jules, however you want to call them, Team Ballion. I at first did feel bad for Bal because I was like, why
Mm.
is she not got like a long term pro? But then it's also like, I feel like it's quite special when people have someone on their first series because it's like, this is you're going through it together. They always say that, like, we're going through it
Yeah.
together. We're sharing these experiences. It's our first dance off. It's our second dance off. It's our third dance off. It's our fourth dance off.
Yeah, honestly, there was a point where Julian was gonna stick with his getting eliminated really early curse, and I was
Mm,
like, oh dear. Um,
yeah.
but no, it really worked out. Worked
And
out for
I
both.
mean, I think both couples, I mean, obviously they did well because one made it to the semi final and one made it to the final. And like
Hmm.
said finalists literally won the live tour. Like they definitely did well. Oh my God.
My stomach
What's
just
going on?
rumbled. Did you hear it?
No, I just heard a gasp and was like, did something get dropped? I'm scared.
No, I fully was like,
Oh my
sorry,
God.
I'm back.
Um, but both couples obviously did well. But I feel like what were your standout dances from, we'll start with Alexis, not
So,
you.
I mean, I think the journey with Alexis and George in general um, went the first few weeks, brilliant. Dip in the middle, last few weeks, brilliant. And the dip wasn't terrible, and actually a lot of the choreography was still amazing. It was more come at me all you want, George fans. George was making mistakes in the middle, and the choreography wasn't going as perfectly as it would. The rest of the time, it was really good. I loved almost all of Alexis's choreography, to be honest. I think she had such a cool way, especially during
Mm-hmm.
speciality dances and the Latin dances, of it being very like trick trick heavy and like really good for TV sort of dances. Sure, and this was some of the feedback she got along the way. Maybe in competitive ballroom, some of it would be breaking a few rules, but in terms of it being like, hey, that was just such a cool dance to watch. But going all the way back, um, was it what was her very first dance? Remind me of that, because I think that's the one I'm thinking
The
of.
American Smooth to the Miles Smith song.
Okay, then no, it was the second dance. Um,
Paso.
Paso, yeah. They just instantly you were like, whoa, okay, these two
Hmm.
are cool. These two can dance cool.
Hmm.
And I really respected it. Um, the only one I didn't like, in terms of like the actual choreo was the couple's choice, I think. Soda Pop.
Oh, well. Yeah, I like it. Would you talk?
And
That's my favorite dance. How dare
we
you?
love it. We love. And I would also say the Roomba, because of what they said, absolutely stunning dance. It just made me really want their couple's choice to be a contemporary dance because I think they could have done that
Yeah.
beautifully. Yeah.
Hmm. I
But
want
no,
an Alexis
overall cool.
contemporary.
I'm sure we'll get
I
it.
mean, I need to talk about Alexis lifts off the back of what you said
Oh, straight
because
away, yeah.
her lifts, like the things she would put in these dances, like I feel like Vito is somebody who does these tricks and you're like, what's he up to? He's just throwing his partner around again. And like, but in a fun way, in a great way, but you're like,
In
that's
a
a
great
Vito
way.
classic. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
what direction has she been thrown in this time? And I feel like Alexis, it was the same except she's the one being thrown. I'm like,
yeah.
whoa, first of all, how do you explain to someone this is what you're gonna do to me? And
Yeah.
it's like you're going to throw her upside down. And there was one lift, I can't remember which one it's in. I think it's in the salsa where she like turns inside out.
Oh, she jumps towards him, but her legs
Yeah.
end up behind
How?
her, and I'm like, what on earth?
How? Like
Yeah.
these are, it's very creative, it's very exciting. And like you say, it makes great dances for TV. It's all just
Hmm.
like, and it's a lot of stuff you've not seen before.
Hmm.
Like so many of these lifts, and like there was some in them, I think in the Argentine tango and in the Charleston. So I don't know if they choreographed it or like
Mm.
external choreographers did or if it was a teamwork thing, but her performance of it and the way that like to have that trust with George and all that sort of stuff. And it was these lifts where it would be like 4 lifts in one. And I'm
Yeah.
like, again, how are you doing this? Like
Yeah. It was
crazy.
amazing. And you can tell she has an infinite bag of tricks. And she was just
Yeah.
like, look at this,
I
look at
can't
this,
wait
look
to
at
see what's
this.
next.
I know. And
Literally.
actually, like, one of the really impressive things about her, and again, I might get some hate for this, but it's true, and all pros do this, especially in some of the earlier dances. She made George look really good because she was
Mm.
doing really cool things, and he was absolutely keeping her safe and catching her. But the way that she was doing it sometimes made it look like he was doing maybe a little bit more than he was initially. By the end, again, he was really good.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's why in the middle there was a bit of a dip, is because they were sort of forced into some corners and they had to like up his difficulty a little bit, and then there was a few mistakes coming along. Um, but that is because at no point did she also not just try and push him, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Out the gate, she was like, "You're fit and you can do this. We're gonna do this."
Mm-hmm.
And it got them to the final. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Slay. Also, the quick step and the Viennese Waltz are two of their dances that I loved, and I really loved her choreography for because
Mm-hmm.
they were like traditional, but still felt like creative,
Mm-hmm.
and it just felt really like.
Yeah,
But also
I
like
agree with
the
that.
Viennese Waltz did feel really
Oh, have
like
I lost
just
you?
oh
And you're back.
oh. Imagine I'm
The Wi-Fi.
scared. But
The
like
Wi-Fi.
The Viennese Waltz felt so classic, but
Mm-hmm.
beautiful, but
Hmm.
like yeah, those were two
Yeah.
that I really just enjoyed from them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Loved.
then for Julien, any standout Julien dancers?
So I think what was really interesting with Julian and Bal, and everyone watching the series knows this, is like on the Saturday night, they often didn't dance as well as the Sunday night. So often we'd be like, that dance was all right. And then on the Sunday, we'd be like, wait, it's really good. Why didn't they
Mhm.
dance like that before? Um, but I also think Julian, there was a few weeks towards the start where I was a bit like, it's a bit safe, or maybe like, there's not much blowing me away. I think they're maybe capable of more than they're giving, and I'm just kind of not feeling it. Um, and then on the second half of the competition, really good. Big one, underrated, should have got a higher score, their Blackpool week dance.
Again, lifts. Hello, I'm gonna flip
Lifts.
you around, and you're gonna do a
Amazing.
full like barrel roll in the air.
Incredible.
Sorry,
Yes,
Julien, you're
please
gonna
do it
do what?
again. Yes,
Yeah,
please. Yeah,
I think a really
incredible.
underrated one is the rumba from Halloween. Like, I
Mm.
don't think it scored particularly high. I
Mm-hmm.
think they were in the dance off, of course, but it's one that when you go back and watch it, it's like, wait, this is good. And like, I think this was about the time where Julian found his groove more with the
Yeah.
choreography because this is where it really did become storytelling. And so
Yeah.
this one was so like, mermaid siren lady and oh, I'm a sailor and oh, I'm going to seduce you. And I
Yeah.
mean, it was spoken just like that. But like, that's when it was like, oh, we're really like getting like obviously a performance, but like there's this depth to it of
Yeah.
there's this story. And then we see that throughout the rest of their dances where you've got like the cute going on a date American Smooth, or you've got the lifeguard jive, hello. But it's like these stories that he kind of this is how he came to the competition. And I wonder if this will continue with other partners or if it worked because Val's an actress.
Yeah, I was gonna
Like,
say I
is
think
he
it
going to
is in
continue that?
part he learned to sort of play to her strengths, and
Yeah.
she was a good dancer, but like I would say there were a fair few that were sort of middle of the pack, and I think she was
Hmm.
in that middle of the pack. She was towards the higher side of it for sure, but her being in the bottom two as many times and as early as she was crazy. But I would have been less surprised at her if it was like week 8 and she was starting to be in the bottom two.
Yeah.
Um, based on her Saturday night dances alone. Some of her Sunday night dances, and let's talk about that instant dance, they were incredible.
And I think instant dance really showed, especially for like Julian's teaching, like it really showed everyone's teaching
Whoa,
styles. But for
amazing.
Julian, when you like the way he spoke to Val, the way they knew exactly what was happening, the way I was like, I'd enjoyed their partnership up until this point already. But that was like, oh, you two really like
Yeah,
know each other. You as a teacher really like clearly he'd like drill
yeah.
things into her where like she could understand exactly what he meant in these moments. And it's like, oh, Julian, I underestimated you, Loki.
Yeah, really, he was really impressive with that. That was, I think they should have won that, but also in part
Yeah,
just because of how good he was at just teaching it.
yeah.
It
Because I
was a
think
great moment.
he comes over very chill. And like,
Hmm.
first of all, that's already not a personality that really exists in the pros. Like, it's not like he's a second version of someone. It's like, no, this is just
No,
a person we've not had. But I think because of that, not that I didn't think he was like competitive or like a good teacher, but you think, oh, he's laid back. It's like, and then you see him actually in that moment. It's like he's not laid back in these actual teaching moments. He is on it as a teacher, and it's like
yeah,
almost a
he's
look
really
into
going
their
for it.
training room a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be really interesting to fully see how they both teach, I suppose,
Hmm.
as well. And I wonder how that'll evolve as well, because obviously it's their first year.
Hmm.
So well, Julian's done it a few years, but he's never had he's probably taught more with Bal than his other partners combined, because they've never
Real.
made it far. Also, if anyone can hear my stomach rumbling, so sorry. It is going crazy. It is
That's
groaning.
wild.
After this, I'm gonna have a snack. But
Oh,
for
good
now, we
idea.
continue. For now, we continue.
And the way we can continue is a little comparison of obviously this was their
Mm,
first series, these are our
yep.
newbies, and thinking about other pros in their first series. Because also, not only their literal performance in the show, but I think they have really just fallen into place within Strictly. I think within like the
Hmm.
group of pros, they've, as I say, it's not like a replication of a different person. It's like these are individuals who fit in very well, but also within
Yeah.
fandom spaces. And like, I think they're really popular. Like on live tour, the cheers that they got were
Hmm.
huge. And
Hmm.
so I think that's also very interesting to compare to other pros because I think other people have taken longer to find their place, and some of it is because they don't
Yeah.
get partnered immediately. Strictly, what's that about? Justice for Michelle.
Hello.
But
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah,
other
I
times it's
completely.
just like the type of character they are.
Yeah, I think it probably was a big part of both of their casting was how A, keen they seemed, but B, how much they were seemed like they would be able to commit to it because they're like on social media, they're both all over it. They are doing as
Hmm.
much as they can to sort of boost themselves, which is important. And it's a job in which, like, sure, we're voting for celebs, but people are voting for the pros. So it is actually part of trying to do well in the show, but
Yeah.
also, of course, to benefit themselves. Um, but they've just really gone and done everything they can to do to make the show as good as they can.
Hmm.
And I really appreciate that. There was no sitting back. There was no um
No.
shyness. There was definitely nerves, I'm sure, but like, and personality wise, I agree. I feel like both of them stand on their own within the cast
Hmm.
that we currently have. There's no like, oh yeah, they're like a mixture of this and this. No, they're just themselves. And it's great. Yeah, absolutely love it. I agree. Screams were very loud for them in the
Hmm.
live tour. Um, and I actually think it will help like motivate some of the other pros as well. Like this new energy. It's the same in any workplace, right? When you get new people who are really enthusiastic, you're like, hey, okay, yeah, I remember why
Hmm.
I do it now. I'm not saying any
Oh,
of our current pros seem like they're
but it's
not
kind of
like that, but you know
sweet.
what I mean?
Like
Yeah,
reignite that
yeah,
excitement.
yeah.
And then here's a question for moving forward. Do you
Mm.
have any partner predictions of who you would like to see either Julien or Alexis dance with in the future?
Okay. See, the thing is, I don't want to like what's the word? Not typecast, but I'm gonna say typecast Alexis.
Hmm.
But I do see her probably with it's like one of two types of people, right? Because she had George and they made it to the final. She's either gonna get next year the ridiculously bad male celebrity who's
Uh-huh.
like not gonna get anywhere, but it's mostly because it's like, girl, on your first year you got a good one,
Hmm.
you get a bad one this time, or they're just gonna keep giving her the like young,
Mm,
charismatic, social media style guy, especially because I think moving forward on Strictly, they're gonna start casting more and more people that are big on social media because that is kind of the new way celebrities are being formed.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, I can't think of like any names. Julian, on the other hand, though, I think, and I dare I say this, I mean this with the most love ever. Bal wasn't someone that you get partnered with the assumption you're gonna make it to the final, you
Mm,
know? I think she could do great, but she wasn't the one, she wasn't our Amber, she wasn't our, it wasn't someone
yeah.
who you're like, there you go, there's the one that you've got a free pass to the final. Um, I think Julian will get that next because I think he did
Ah.
so well with Balian
Hmm.
and really, really they worked together beautifully that they're like, okay, let's push Julian to his limits and see how it
Hmm.
goes.
I have a name of someone I want to dance with Julien, and it's not me,
Yeah,
but I
go
am
on then.
available. I want Saber from Gladiators
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah,
we obviously we seem to be getting a gladiator every year, and I'm really here for
yeah,
it because I really enjoy gladiators.
yeah.
And Saber is, I think, a great gladiator. I can't remember her name in real life, Shelley, but
I don't
I
know.
think a in terms of like the relevance of different gladiators, she's been on House of Games. She's been in a lot of events recently on gladiators, which makes me think, are they
Yeah,
kind of
she is
making
one of
her
the
like she's
like,
like the main ones?
yeah,
And
she
then
is
it's
one of
like,
the main ones. Yeah.
so I think therefore she could do Strictly. She's not as
Hmm.
tall like Diamond. Love Diamond, but like I don't know who she could dance with because she's so tall. Whereas
She's very
Saber's
tall.
not as tall. But also,
Hmm.
importantly, I think Julian and a gladiator would work really well together because of his sportiness and his fitness.
Hmm.
And I think they'd have a lot in
Yes.
common. So that is like my vision for this year is
Ooh,
Julian and
okay.
Saber. And then
Put it
also I
out
would
there.
like to
Yeah.
see is I spoke to Julian in Nottingham about the King Julian nickname and how he feels about it. And he
Yeah.
said, he's happy about it. Like people have called him it before. And I was saying like we need to do a King Julian dance. And he was like, oh yeah, like if I was in a same sex partnership, I could be King Julian and then the other one could be Maurice. And I'm like, okay, first of all, you've clearly thought about this. And second of all, same sex partnership, I'm listening, write it down, get him
Yeah,
in
we're in.
one. I would love
Hold
to
on.
see it.
And I'm available.
That's true. There you go. You will have to be Maurice from Madagascar for movie
I'll
week.
do what it takes.
So, also, speaking of same sex partnerships, I had a vision for Alexis. that
Mm.
is kind of like you say, they're using young social media stars, and if they want to like pigeonhole her in that, I really want
Hmm.
Charlie Marlowe to do Strictly. I love
Yeah, I
Charlie
would
Marlowe,
love.
but she's short, and like I'm like, which
Oh,
girly could we put with her because she's short? And then I was like, oh my god, Alexis, that would
yeah.
work really well. Like similar age, similar this, similar. And then it was like, yeah, Alexis has just been with a TikToker. Could she be with
Mm.
another one? So
Would they do it
I'm like,
again?
if they
Maybe.
go down the like pigeonhole route and go, you will get the young person, she could. So
It's
therefore,
still quite
I would like to
different.
put that
Yeah.
out.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I like all of
I'd
these
also like to
suggestions.
see like Julian with like an older woman, like in a nice kind of caring,
I
like
actually,
I could really see him
before,
in that kind of, you know.
yeah, before the episode, before we started filming, and I was
Mm,
looking through what we were going to talk about, that was the thought I had, and I forgot it when you just asked me there. But completely, actually, I imagine maybe not next series, but like the series after,
yeah.
Julian is going to get the almost like Johannes treatment over the past
Mm,
few years of like, yeah, the older lady who may be still quite good or like
mm.
very
But
elegant, graceful, and it's
yeah,
like actually quite good. Or like he's giving a bit Kai in that same energy, you know?
yeah. Like I can just see him like really looking after someone. And like I think because
Yeah,
obviously being in all those dance offs with Bao, you see him as this like he is someone who's caring and like lifts up his partner. And I think like a sweet older lady, I don't know who, but like if one's available, I think you would do a lovely job with Julian.
yeah, yeah.
Like
So worst
an old
case,
woman off a soap, perhaps.
oh, and
Don't
how
know.
lovely it would be.
It would be, but not EastEnders because he's done that. So somebody can leave Emmerdale and then
Yeah,
dance with Julian, and I
I
think
don't
that is
know
a great deal.
anyone enough. I have no
I don't know.
concept of so uh, yeah, good picks.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah, well done.
Also, I think you know Craig Rowe of A Place in the Sun.
No.
Well, I think he could do a great Charleston, and again, he's short. And do you know who else can do a great Charleston and is short? Alexis Warr.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
So
That
that's a
I don't
partnership.
know this man, but that sounds great.
I feel like if we're looking for an early exit, I'm not saying he's going to be an early exit, but what I am
Oh,
saying is he seems like the kind of person who would do a really good movie week dance that would carry him through a few
oh,
weeks.
okay, yeah, yeah, we take that.
So if we're looking for like a Halloween exit for Alexis, I think Craig Rowe put
Yeah,
them together.
I think we got to get a good, Halloween week from Alexis. I
Yeah,
aim
we
for a
need
good Halloween week every year from Alexis.
also we need a like redemption for movie week after Soda
Y-
Pop.
Well, and honestly, Halloween from the Apple.
Yeah.
I
So
didn't,
she's got to get at
yeah.
least that far.
So give her a chance to do both.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think so.
There we go.
There we go. If do anyone in the comments, if you have partner ideas, put it in there. We'll let the
Please.
BBC know.
Yeah, we'll email them.
Hello, BBC.
Oh, we'll call them.
Sorry, I putting you on hold. I'm filming my podcast.
Oh,
Yeah,
and to
we'll go like that.
wrap up this episode, I have a hot take.
I have a hot take.
Hot
Hot
take.
take.
Here's my hot take.
Ooh, ooh, can't wait.
Alexis Warr's success on Strictly is not to do with George Clark
Ooh, you're
because
gonna miss some people.
I see people saying she's got fans because she was with George in the same way that Diane has fans because she was with Joe. First of all, if you think BAFTA winning Diane Boswell only has fans because of Joe Sugg, can you be serious? Second of all, if you think so, you think you can dance winner Alexis Warr only has fans because of George Clark. Can you be serious? It feels like that thing that's like misogyny seeping into every day of your life. It's like, why do
Hmm.
you not think these women can be successful in their own right? Why is the only reason that people would like Alexis because she danced with George? Like,
Yep.
sure, some George fans will have become fans of Alexis through watching Strictly. That happens all the time. Is people know the celebrity and become fans of their partner. But why
Yeah.
do we only talk about it when it's a YouTube boy and their lady partner? Why is it not a thing when it's like, why is no one going, oh, people are only fans of Julian because of Bao? Which is probably going to also be true for some people, is people will
Yeah.
have watched her on EastEnders and then are fans of Julien. It's a normal progression, but it feels like trying to like diminish like the success of these women by just pretending the only reason that people like them is because of who they dance with, which doesn't even make sense because it's like, why would you then go and watch her perform on Pro Tour when he's not
Mm-hmm.
there if you're only a fan because of him? Why would you enjoy her choreography when you're only a fan of him? Why would you enjoy her in group numbers if you're only a fan of him? Like the amount of Alexis fans I
Yeah.
personally know who are fans from So You Think You Can Dance actually outweighs the people who have become fans
Yeah, a
through
lot
this
more.
show. So
Yeah.
it's like, it's just crazy to me because it's like, do
It
you
is.
not think that people just like her because she's good at what she does?
It's also, I actually think it highlights a whole other thing as well with Strictly and particularly Strictly this year, which is a lot of people who I'll use George Clark as an example for this, come on to watching Strictly for the first time and talk about it like people aren't the biggest fan of Strictly the show, and George
Mm-hmm.
Clark being on it is just one of 15 celebs, right? Like, this show has existed for so long. These pros are the most consistent part of the show, pros and the
Mm-hmm.
judges, right? People become fans and fall in love with these pros. We come back every year because it's the same, like, because we're excited to watch people that who knows? I don't care who's cast next year. I'm coming to watch it, right? It's not
Yeah.
about that. It's because I like the pros, I like the format of the show, I like what I'm going to see, and I'm excited to see how this new set of celebrities take it on. And I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of people were quite quick to be like, "Oh, you're mad about this, or you hate this person because of this," and it's all like, no, we're like fans of the show and can be critical and can enjoy and can love every different aspect of the show. It actually has very little to do with specifically the people, you know,
Very true. That's
like
a hot take
specifically
within
the
a
new
hot
people.
take.
Hot take within a hot take.
Wow. But
Although
basically,
sometimes they can cast people that we disagree with, and then
that's
that's a
true.
whole thing in itself.
That's true. Basically, I would just like to send a message to Alexis Warr, which is people love you for you. You're amazing at what you do. Don't doubt yourself and don't let people pretend that the
Hmm.
only reason they would like you is because of a boy with a mullet. No shade to George Clark. Like, I love Walkie. We love Team Walkie. We love George Clark. I'm just,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
your success is down to being good at what you do and people enjoying it and people enjoying your performances and your choreography and your personality and your vlogs and your social media posts. And those things make people like you, not the
Hmm.
person you happen to dance with one time.
Hmm.
Well,
Hmm.
more than once, but you know what I mean.
Hmm. And also, there's been partnerships in the past where they just don't meld, they just don't work, and
Yeah.
it doesn't end up working out for either of them. So even a large portion of previous George Clark flans
Ooh.
fans that are now fans of Alexis, like you wouldn't be a fan of Alexis if she wasn't entertaining, if she didn't do a great job
Yeah.
teaching George, if they didn't work well as a pair. And so that is still all a lot to do with Alexis and who she is and how amazing she is. So
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
read that
Oh, my shoulder popped.
CV. Oh, my little shoulder pop. Do, do, do. Read that CV and tell me the only reason people would be a fan of her is because of George Clark. I dare you.
Hmm.
But then people still
Hmm.
will, and they'll be like, oh, it's because they want attention. Oh my God.
So sorry, but George Clark wasn't in Jojo Siwa's Karma
Exactly.
music video.
Call me when George Clark is rolling around on a beach. I don't know. Is that what happens in that music video? I think so.
Yeah, someone call us when that happens.
Yeah, call me when that happens.
Someone let us know. But
Just when we get
yeah,
a
I mean,
call.
oh my God, wait, the BBC are on the phone again. Sorry, not now.
We have an idea for comic relief. Not now.
Not now. Sorry, we can't do it. And yes, we will host next series, but we'll talk about that later. God, they're so needy. Um. Anyway, there we go. That is Alexis. That is Julian.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's if you've got this far, you can clearly see we're big fans of both. They're great additions. Um.
Yeah.
Very happy with the direction the show's taking as well. It
Mm-hmm.
seems very positive. It seems very uplifty. Everyone just
Mm-hmm.
seems wonderful. But
Oh,
yeah, shout out to Julian. Shout out to Alexis.
come on the
That's it.
podcast.
Come on the podcast and let us know all your thoughts on Julian and Alexis in the
Please
comments,
give
and
us
let
an
us know
essay.
your
Give us a
give
little
us yeah, actually
thought, a
do.
concern.
A concern. Ooh, give us everything.
Give
Give
me
us
everything.
everything.
And
Anyway,
thank you for listening or
and
watching
we
or both.
do, and we actually know what next episode is going to be. So next week we're talking about all our favorites of like
From the
everything.
past.
Yeah, from the past. So stay tuned for that. But for now, thanks, guys. You can follow me on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok at Caterpillar.
And you can follow me on TikTok at Strictly Poppy, on Instagram at poppy.morrison_, and on Twitter at scddevereaux, which may be confusing on how to spell. It's Strictly Come Dancing and then Blanche from the Golden Girls. But just go look up Laura May Oakley and go on her replies, and you'll find me right there.
There she is.
That's the easiest way.
And
Also, follow
that's
the
that.
podcast on TikTok
Oh, yeah.
at Strictlytalk Pod. We do also have an Instagram, but I never post on it because I am silly.
And we do have a YouTube as well. We do have a Spotify as well if you're
Mm,
watching on YouTube. And we do post the video on YouTube if you're listening on Spotify. And even if you're going to stick to the one, we just appreciate the little bit of support on the other. So just give it a little subscribe, and that'll do.
yeah, just no one needs to know.
No one needs to know. But anyway,
Um, we'll catch you next week, guys.
bye, guys. See you next time.
Bye.